When watching any sporting event on TV or in person, stats of the game or stats about the players are shown. The stats are always displayed sometime throughout the game when announcers or commentators reference them. What people do not notice about the stats is that they are actually sports analytics done by analysts in the sports field. Dr. Wei-Young Choi is one of these types of analysts and is an associate professor at the University of North Florida. He also runs the Sports Data Analytics Lab at UNF as well. What is sports business analytics?
The sport business analytics is to find out the specific the pattern from the data to make a decision for better marketing or better strategy of their the marketing. Finally, it is helpful to maximize their profit or increase their profit.
How did you get into the sports analytics field?
When I was in Korea, I worked as the performance data analyst for the MBC ESPN in Korea, and then the broadcasting outlet by analyzing 2002 World Cup the soccer games. That's the starting point of that I could start the analytics related work in the field.
What is the importance of sports business analytics in the field?
Like I mentioned, to make the decisions, the decision makers need a specific kind of evidence to make decisions. The sports data analytics, the business analytics can help them out to make the correct decision making for their business and for the marketing strategies.
What is the class for students to take for analytics or sports management?
In our major, basically the student needs to take our sports business analytics class, but before they take that class, they have to finish the STA 2023, the basic or the foundation of stats. Those two classes are the basic kind of the step to learn about the analytics, and then depends on the kind of the interest of the student, they can take the advanced class at UNF. So I'm preparing the sports data analytics minor courses for the student who want to work in the analytics field in the sports side in US.
What are some of the analytic programs that students learn when they take sports business analytics?
I want to recommend to learn how to handle R and Tableau, and if you would like to expand to the SQL, because those are very popular and common the programming, the language in the field, especially in the case of R, that's very popular and they're common in the field. And also in the case of Tableau, the Tableau is one of the visualization, the software that lots of people and the organization they use in the field. And also the SQL is kind of the language, but if you want to focus on more the analytics part, I strongly recommend you have the experience of the SQL as well.
These analysts use data collected from a game or games a player has played through different types of software to test and analyze the data. Two softwares that analyze the data are SPSS and R. Some of these softwares helps with the visualization and put the data into graphs, charts, or maps depending on the question the analyst is trying to answer using the data from the data sets. One visualization software is Tableau. What are some of the tests that we learn in sports business analytics, like for statistics and stuff like that?
In the class, usually I teach the basic descriptive analytics and analysis to some regression, because in the case of the t-test and ANOVA, it is very helpful to compare different groups. And also in the case of the regressions, we can find out which variable is important to predict that the dependent variables or outcomes. So basically, if our students can understand the basic t-test and ANOVA and the regressions, then they can utilize that skill for the work in the field after graduate.
In recent years, there has been more of a demand for sports data analysts as sports analytics has become more of a trend and is used constantly in retrospect to sports and how sports are done. What are some of the opportunities for students in the analytics field, especially for sports?
Recently, the big data and the analytics job are very increased. It means that if you guys learn how to handle the data with the specific softwares, it means that you can have better chance to get a job in the field. That job opportunity has been increased a lot from 2016 to 2017. It still requires lots of people in the field who can handle the data and the softwares. So I strongly recommend our students to learn how to handle the data and how to handle the softwares. Then your future will be totally different.
Recently, Dr. Choi's sports business analytics class worked with Amazon Web Services with a practice lab for the students to learn how to apply the different skills they learned over the semester to answer different questions related to the lab's data set. What are some of the companies that are like the big name companies right now in like sports business?
At this moment, I'm working with AWS because, as you know, AWS, they are expanding their business to lots of different areas, including the just general sports organization or general business side. So I'm working with them to make our students have a better opportunity and a better career opportunity in the field. So I'm preparing the AWS certification education program for our students. It means that by having the certification, our students can apply a lot of the different jobs opportunity in the field. Then AWS would be the first and the best, the company that I'm working with for my students' future.
What are some of the other companies that you've worked with to give opportunities to students besides AWS?
For the business?
Yeah, for analytics and stuff.
But this is kind of it would be the fun story that one of our students that worked in the Publix. Then one day he just observed his manager handle the data set with the Excel file. So he mentioned that I could learn how to handle this data, and then I could learn the Tableau software. So he helped the managers. Now he got a job in the Publix. So but that's the kind of the weird example, the funny example, but it's gonna be another evidence why students need to learn the data analytics skills. And also nowadays we are working with the SMT, the sports media technology. They have the both sides, the performance analytics side and the business analytics side. So our students are interning at the business analytics part as well. So from this summer, our students will join as the intern and the full-time employee for their performance analytics part and business analytics parts simultaneously.
Sports business analytics is an important part of the sports, as it would be hard to understand giant groups of data without software to organize it into a statistic people can understand. I feel like I probably already asked this, or you probably addressed it, but do you think it is important for sports management students to learn sports business analytics, and why?
I strongly agree with that because sometimes some students told me that, hey, I would not interested about analytics because I'm gonna do another job in the sports field, but I want to become the director of the athletic department. Even though you guys become the athletic department, but as an administrator, you guys have to have understanding of the basic numbers and the stats. Then you can make better decisions. It means that even though you don't work in the sports analytics side, but that analytics skills will be utilized in any kind of field where you work. So I think that's the importance of the sports and the data analytics skills.
The Sports Data Analytics Lab is located on the third floor of the Tom and Betty Pettyway Hall, and when asked about what the Sports Data Analytics Lab is, he responded with,
Okay, the Sports Data Analytics Lab has been established from the 2020 summer because in the sports management field, there are a lot of job opportunity about the analytics related. The Dean's office really consider that very importantly, so they asked me to start this lab for our students. So the main purpose of this lab is to make the better education, the process or education opportunity for our students with the topic of analytics, because it is one of the ways to help them out to have better job or to develop their career in the sports field. So that make the better education program of analytics would be the first kind of the priority of our lab work. And the second work is to conduct the research in the field. So I'm preparing the big data research with the MLB, big data with the machine learning and artificial intelligence skills. It's going to be another our important work to conduct the research, because I'm here as an assistant professor. Doing research is more of my duty and my responsibility as the faculty member here.
Dr. Choi has worked with sports analytics for a long time and is always encouraging students to learn all aspects of the sports field, such as analytics, because that knowledge can be used anywhere, and then students are more prepared for a career in the sports field rather than others that have not learned all the aspects.
Like what type of jobs and like projects have they worked on in the lab?
Basically, they're learning basic principle of the performance analytics. But to work in the performance analytics, they have to understand the basic principle of the performance analytics. They are learning from the seminar classes, and also they are preparing also AWS cloud certification. So by having that certification, they can apply lots of different jobs in the sports field. Also, they are participating in the sports, the performance analytics theme after school program, which I'm conducting with the Mayport Middle School in Jacksonville. Those are really good examples that our students are participating in with the analytics theme and analytics topic.
What are the hours for the lab if kids want to come in and check out the lab?
Usually I'm staying here all day, so but you may just stop by anytime. Then we can have the better conversation about our work and our vision and the way we can help you out.
If you have any more questions about the Sports Data Analytics Lab or about sports business analytics, please email Dr. Choi with your questions or to schedule an appointment with him to learn more about it straight from the source. His email is w.choi@unf.edu. In Jacksonville, Mallory Aldrich reporting.